Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we are going to talk about Antonius, which is the new SoulDance Atlas defensive rider. Pretty cool design, but I do still think that Mortok, the SoulDance seasonal offensive rider, is my favorite. Let's take a look at what Antonius offers. Now, just keep in mind, for training him, you do have to spend these blue Atlas rider shards to unlock him. And then when you train him, once you've unlocked him, it will take red Atlas rider shards and glory to level him up. You do have to have Atlas to get this rider. And if you don't get him during this season, that's okay. You can always unlock him later with the blue rider shards, whereas the SoulDance seasonal offensive rider is only available during this season, and you will not be able to unlock him again. So let's take a look at what he has to offer. He's got building attack, storm attack or earth flak attack, then lumber mill production, storm HP or earth flak HP. Then you have sheep farm production, and then you can pick between building HP, building HP here, and then you would have the other paths, which would take you to earth flak, tower HP, building attack, storm HP, and then building attack. So what you can get overall is a little bit difficult to see in here because you don't really have all the skill points laid out. So let's head over to Morian's site, the Neon War Dragon website, where we can see all that information. So let's go and take a look at what Antonius has to offer as far as defense. Now, as far as generic HP and attack, it has 15% and 3.5%, which is not very good, but you do get those extra stats for the storm and earth flak if you put, depending on which one you put in there. Now let's just confirm to Crom, which is a very good rider. It gives, I usually just focus on HP because I think HP is much better. And you can check my generic defense rider video to get a bit more details on that. But basically, I think the more you keep them alive, the more damage they can deal, the more super shots you can get off, the more health that the towers have, the more likely you are to be able to have time to get that heal off or that super shot off in order to protect your towers longer and take out the dragons. Attack. Dragons have a lot of ways to avoid or decrease the damage that they take, so increasing the attack to me doesn't seem as effective. So let's take a look. We're going to compare that we want about 23% HP and 18% attack. So when we click on Antonius here, we can go in and look at what we have to offer. So we have 3.5% attack, plus we can get that 7% earth flak. So it comes up to about 10.5 attack, which is less than what Crom would offer. And then if we have, we want to switch this one over to HP, so it's earth flak stuff. And then we would get the 12% HP plus the 5% HP, so 20% HP, which is decent, but it's only for the earth flak, and it's less than what Crom would give every single tower. And then we run out of stats here. If you did want to get more HP only for the earth flak, and less for all your buildings, you could take 5 away from all your buildings and put 5 more into the earth flak. Glitching out here on the phone version. So that would give you a little bit more for the earth flak, but less overall for the rest of your towers, which really is not ideal either. And so to me, this dragon is not beneficial. Also, it requires you to use your points on production, which, I mean, I don't really want sheep farm production or lumber mill production on my riders. It's pretty easy to farm that stuff. And to me, it seems like a waste when you have other riders like Crom that can give you such higher stats. And then defensive riders where Crom can get you 23% HP and 18 attack for every single tower, not just a specific tower. So overall, I mean, this Crom is the better option. If you're going to spend your Atlas rider shards on a rider for defense, I would say if you're don't pick Antonius. I don't think that it's worth it. Unless you have a very specific setup on a couple islands that you think it would benefit you, and you have multiple riders and multiple islands that you're putting defensive riders for. But overall, for your main island, most players are only going to have 1 to 3 islands that they focus their main rider on, and I think Chrom would be a much better rider for that. Or Cassima, some people want to focus on a couple different flags that are the main ones on their base, especially if they have a longer setup and they have 2 or 3 of that single tower or those 2 different towers, then it is a little bit beneficial. But overall, Chrom is an amazing rider. And so unfortunately, while Antonius is cool looking, I don't think he is worth getting. But I mean, not all the riders are going to be awesome. They're trying to make different ones, unique ones that give specific bonuses to different towers. But I think that it's got to be a pretty convincing bonus if you want to sacrifice the health and attack of all the other towers just for 1 or 2 specific towers that you might only have 1 of on your base. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.